Hello, all my history-loving friends. This is Madam Morbid. My real name is Erin. I feel like I've kept myself too much out of the channel. If we're going to be going on trips together, I figure you probably would like to know a little bit about me. I have a master's degree in history, and I worked for a while in archives, which is working with documents created by people, businesses, organizations, stuff that needs to be kept for history's sake. And I lost that job due to COVID budget cuts. I'm really established where I live. I didn't want to uproot myself for another archive job just to stay in that field. My life is here, but at the same time, I can't stand to not be working in history in some way, even if it's here making documentaries for you guys. So frankly, I've been doing this for a few months now, and I just absolutely love it. I am so happy. I just love doing it, and I hope you'll consider helping this channel grow by subscribing to it or hitting like if you like what you see. If you want to go on more of these adventures with me, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when I put something up. I wish I could say, oh, I upload every Tuesday, but it just doesn't work that way for me. I have a 2-year-old child. I lost all of last week completely because she was sick. She was very sick. I sat in a chair holding her, watching Cocomelon all day, every day for 4 days straight. Yeah, hey, US government, I have an idea for more enhanced interrogation techniques that you could use. Oh, okay, anyway. So today I am in Kansas. Where I live, I have easy access. We're going to hit 3 states today. I'm filming 3 episodes. I will hit Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma today. I'm right at the corner where they all kind of intersect, which is really cool because I'm really not traveling that far. Right now, I am in Baxter Springs, Kansas. We're going to be talking about Route 66. Route 66 travels from Santa Monica, California to Chicago, Illinois. It passes through 8 states, 2,226 miles. It goes from Santa Monica through California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. Kansas only has 24 miles or so of Route 66 that goes through it. On into Missouri and into Illinois, all the way up to Chicago. Pixar animators traveled the road and visited many different places that Route 66 goes through. And Baxter Springs was one of them, as was Galena, Kansas. Now in Galena, we are going to see the truck that inspired MATER. I'm going to show you some of the old filling stations that still exist. And one thing Cars has done is I think it brought Route 66 back to a younger generation. People who actually traveled Route 66, when you talk to them, they will tell you, I didn't think anything of Route 66 at the time. It was there to get me from one place to another. That's all it was. And I think it's one of those things where you don't really appreciate what you have until it's not there anymore. And I was thinking today as I was driving down the interstate to get here, how boring it was. Really. You just go straight. There's nothing to look at. Just the loss of that. Something to see. You can pass something interesting and you can just pull off, and you can't do that anymore. I think people just yearn for a time when things were more intimate, when you knew your neighbors really well, when you could live in a small town and make a living. Sometimes you drive through these towns and it's not like I think, oh, I don't want to live here, but it's how would you make a living? What would you do with no industries and with people taking highways and not getting off and going through these small towns? And so it's towns like Baxter Springs and Galena where those are the towns Radiator Springs was based on. But the interesting thing is that Cars has made people start coming there again. The places I'm going, the places I've already seen, well, so far, there are a lot of people taking pictures of these old filling stations, and these towns have really embraced the Route 66 heritage of their towns, and it's bringing people in. and it's helping preserve a lot of these places. I'm on Route 66 right now in Galena, Kansas, and you can really see it's a really cute little Route 66 town. Now the animators of Cars came to this town in Baxter Springs, Kansas when they were doing research for their animated film. It's a film I've been watching a lot with my 2-year-old, and it is just as wonderful today as it was in 2006 when they first made it. So they went to little towns like this and they incorporated things that they saw all along the road. And here in a bit we're going to head over and we are going to see the tow truck that inspired MATER in Cars. Here it is, guys. Texaco. It's a curio shop now. The pump's on the other side. You can just imagine the guy jumping out, asking, coming out of the store, asking you what you needed, filling you up, washing your windshield. Sometimes I really wish that still happened. I don't know why, but I just hate getting gas. I never want to take the time to stop. First world problems. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the film, their tires are named Light Year. A good little nod to their other film. They always stick in little Easter eggs like that. John Lassiter was talking about how they came to use the Hudson Hornet in the movie Cars, and it's because it was this amazing machine that could go so fast and yet looked like a car your grandpa would drive. But they were phenomenal in racing on dirt. They were just fabulous race cars. And I love that storyline in Cars with Doc and how he looks like a grandpa and yet he's this amazing racer who has hid who he is for all of these years. Just up the street, just a little further down the street is this nice little park. It's the city jail, so I guess if you misbehave, they lock you in here. Dang, I hope this wasn't really there. This may have come from their actual city jail from a long time ago. That does seem an awful lot like an animal crate. Galena was a big mining town. So these are some pictures of what it used to look like here. This is 1964. And that's a picture of that building right there. Okay, we are here at Kan-o-Tex. Looks like it might be closed. Dang. Yeah, they're not open on Tuesdays. Well, darn. I was gonna eat here, but now I'm not. You are about to meet the real tow MATER. There's the sign. And this is a restored service station from the Route 66 era. In Galena, Kansas, we found a lonely old tow truck that most folks would pass by without a second glance. Our head of story, Joan Rampt, however, saw beyond its rust and broken down parts. He saw the inspiration for the character MATER. They soon became kindred spirits. Joe gave MATER his warmth, his sense of fun, his humble and generous spirit, and his capacity to see and bring out the best in others. Michael Wallace, the author of this book, this is taken from Did the Voice of the Sheriff. He is a very famous Route 66 historian and author. From this to this. I love MATER, and Larry the Cable Guy's voice is just perfect. International L170 series. So you can see how this truck inspired the design of MATER. This is a Chevrolet Spartan. Wonder what year? Probably the 50s. Man, I hope you can hear me. It is so windy. I found the sheriff. It's so great how the animators were able to make the grills like mustaches. Oh, and he signed the driver's side door. Let's see if we can see it. There it is. Whew. I don't know if you guys can see it or... I don't know if you guys could see that or not. The sun is right in my face and I can't even see what I'm looking at through the finder. They've been tractor tipping. That part is so funny. The tractors are just so dumb. I always heard about cow tipping, but I don't know if I never did it. I don't know if anyone I know ever did it. People talked about doing it, but I don't know if they actually did or if they were just telling stories. Poor tractors. The tractors actually seemed stupider than cows. Maybe cows are stupid. I don't know many cows. Luigi looking for his Ferrari. Look, he's got a flat tire. He's getting it aired up. He needs to get some of his own tires. Somebody's here working. There's a car in there. I think he's fixing up. Did one of the kids fart? Is that why he's holding his nose? Or the dog? So this guy's 19 feet tall. He's made of fiberglass. So he's supposed to sort of be like the muffler man. And statues like this were used to advertise businesses. He looks more like a miner to me. The creator, who I don't know who is, I don't know who made him, but he named him after his grandfather, whose nickname was Frex. They called him Freckles. So I guess this is Frex Jr. But his grandfather was a miner, so this guy looks like a miner to me, not a muffler man. I mean, he's got his pickaxe. I didn't think muffler men needed pickaxes. Yes, Toto, there is Route 66 in Kansas. I think a lot of people don't know that. Because look at this map here. It's such a teeny tiny little 20 miles out of 2,226 miles. This is an old filling station that has been turned into Baxter Springs Route 66 Visitor Center, which sadly is not open right now. This across the street was also a garage and filling station in the Route 66 era. Route 66 opened in 1926. It's coming up on its 100th anniversary. And there was a lot of controversy about it getting the number. There was another number that they wanted that another state didn't want them to have. And I'm not really going to get too much into that, but there was a lot of arguing back and forth, and they finally got the number 66 as a compromise. And I think we're all happy that is how it worked out. Wow, wonder what this is. Everything in there is vintage. It's clearly not a bank anymore. Now I've actually been inside this. This is not open to the public. It was made for students around here. And if you look inside, they have turned this place into a 1950s cafe. And kids can come here and they can get in the booths and they can study. And it's just amazing. I've got all kinds of pictures from inside that I will be putting on here, so you guys can see it. I used to work with Route 66 through my old job, and we would always meet once a year somewhere on Route 66. So I have been to Albuquerque, I've been to Amarillo, Texas. We had it here in Baxter Springs one time. We went to Albuquerque twice. It was one of my favorite things I got to do. This is Baxter Springs' old theater, the Ritz. And they still show movies here.